Greetings. Anything that is destructive can also be constructive. So when you understand that there is a law of polarity, which is basically the law of opposites, showing you that everything has its polar opposite. So darkness is the opposite of light. Light is the opposite of darkness. Like for example, when there is darkness, this part of the world, we call it night. But at the same time, for example, places like Australia, it might be day. So while on one side of the planet there's darkness, the other side there's light. The same thing with the Hurricane Beryl. And for example, I was without internet, I was without electricity and so on. And because of that, I couldn't connect with you on this level. But on other levels, I would be able to connect with you. However, those who live in the tropics and who experience the hurricane, they were under that consciousness, that awareness. They were experiencing that in consciousness. That was taking place not just physically only, but mentally and also spiritually. But most people do not understand it from the mental and spiritual aspect. For example, I met a preacher in the city about a day or two ago, and he was asking me what's my opinion of what would have taken place and with the Bible and what the Bible says and so on. But he failed to realize that hurricanes, volcanic eruptions, and every other what we refer to as natural disaster, it's hidden in the Bible as part of the awakening, as a part of the enlightenment of man, where man come into that place of spirit in the upper room, where they will hear the mighty rushing wind. We think it is. We think a hurricane is. It's a mighty rushing wind. So when a man experience true enlightenment, true awareness, he become a self-realized being, and he see himself up to the top of the pyramid because he vibrate to that place of frequency and vibration. So he understand the Bible from a metaphysical standpoint as well as from the standpoint that religious people understand the Bible, in terms of they understand the Bible and believe the Bible to be literal and secular history that is pointing them to a God on the outside. So they keep looking outwardly and get trapped in the physical realm only, but never could see beyond the spiritual, beyond the physical realm, to come into the psychological and spiritual realm. But hurricanes are mentioned in the Bible as blessing, and it is also been mentioned in the Bible also as being destructive. So there's the destructive and there's the constructive. Okay? It always mirror, they always mirror each other. It's like a coin has a head and a tail, but the same coin. So there is only one power, which is mind power. And we have to utilize earth, wind, water, fire, and spirit, which is the elements. So the elements that give us every science and technology, that give us everything that we needed for survival. That was the same power and the same elements that was used to destroy the crops, to destroy even animals, our homes, our livelihoods. But then there have to be an understanding that will put us in a place of balance, where we understand that you cannot appreciate one and don't appreciate the other. That is why even the Bible tells you that I am God and there is no other. He said, I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. That is in Deuteronomy 32:39. And so you have to understand balance. You have to understand that everything has its polar opposite. So where there is good, there is also evil. Where there is God, there is also the devil. They can't be without each other. So you can't go to no extreme. So you can't accept your negative self and don't accept your positive self. I accept the positive self only and don't accept the negative self. You have to accept both the positive and the negative self. You have to accept your destructive thoughts and your creative thoughts. So everything you see happening out in nature is to teach us that we are all one and that we are all connected. So while we were experiencing, as I said earlier on, a devastating hurricane, people in other parts of the world was living life as usual, doing the usual thing. They had internet, they had electricity, they had access to everything. So you can never go against the law of polarity. And to see people who are religious and superstitious and who believe in looking for a savior on the outside, they always use these things to bring a negative report, to bring fear, doubt, guilt, and shame upon people. That is why some of them are against people enjoying their usual carnival. Like for right now, it's carnival in my country, and that's how some people get their happiness, their joy, their peace. That's how they get it. You understand? So you can't judge them because they find their peace, their place of peace and solace in, you know what I mean, dancing to music and if they want to drink what they want to drink, smoke what they want to smoke, do whatever they want to do, they feel free to do it. At least they're thinking for themselves. But when you want to say that someone have to do like you to enjoy their self, that's where you're going to a certain extreme. And you'll never be able to live a balanced life. You will have to live a life of a hypocrite, always contradicting what you say. So my brother, my sister, always see the positive in everything. Always understand what it means that when it says that all things work together for good for them who love and know God. Those people who understand the God self would be willing to accept their negative self. They wouldn't be looking for devil outside of themselves to blame because they will accept that it is their own task that is creating their reality and creating their personality. For the man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So you could see the storm from a destructive state of mind only, or you can see both sides, and then you choose which one you want to focus your energy on. If you want to focus your energy on the destructive part of life and the different experiences of life, or you're going to focus on the constructive, creative, and uplifting things in life. So my brother, my sisters, use this disaster as a lesson, because Earth is a school to learn the principle of giving and receiving, and to understand the secret of the universe, that it is based on energy, vibration, and frequency. That is why even the Bible tells you about energy, vibration, and frequency, where you will vibrate to the upper room. Yeah, the place at 9. There's no number higher than 9. That's the upper room. The last part of the room in the house. And you're told that in my father's house, there are many mansions. You're going to find mansion in a house? That's a parable. So everything you see that happening on the outside is happening on the inside. So it takes a mighty rushing wind to give you a renewal of mind. Because it can only be transformed by the renewing of your mind, the rearrangement of your mind. So the positive people out there see the positive outcome in everything. But the judgmental people out there find a God who wants to judge you for living your life. Yet they claim that he's omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. But I want to say to you, you're the one who's omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. If you understand your psychological self, if you understand how the mind works, in other words, if you understand how to use your power, the power to form and shape and mold, the power of imagination, if you know how to form and mold your images in your life, you're able to form and shape the life you want to live in spite of. So you can't have a calm without first there be a storm. And you can't have a storm without there be also a calm. So if you could appreciate the calm, you have to learn to appreciate the storm. Because it takes the storm to give you the calm, and it takes the calm to give you the storm. Anyhow you put it, they're connected to each other. So my brother, my sisters, do not just look on the destructive side, but get the positive message that every one of us, we need a cleansing, we need a purging. That is the earth giving birth. It's going through birth pains, want to release itself. The time you want to relieve yourself, you see house roof blowing off. That is symbolism. The highest part must be blown off. Yeah, for you to come out of the empty tomb to understand the true resurrection. So you'll be able to resurrect things in your life, because that is a resurrection that's going to take place there. Everything get knocked down, but you're going to see everything be constructed and going again. That's true resurrection. And even the word erection comes from the word resurrection too. And every day we awake to see what? A new day. And the sun has to go through death, burial, and resurrection, and rising again. And the sun powers the human imagination, the human imagination powers the sun. But without the sun, there's no life, and there's no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. Everything that the hurricane destroyed, it was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined, it came from the mind. Therefore, you have to use the mind to rebuild. So, you have to get rid of the destructive things that are keeping you in limiting beliefs. keeping you in doubt, keeping you in fear, keeping you in mediocrity. When your father owned 1,000 cattle on the hill, everything belonged to your father. But your father is actually your provider. Do you realize that you're told that the Lord thy maker is thy husband? There must be a union, there must be a marriage. So everything that the Father has, it belongs to you. But the Father exists in consciousness, in the world of spirit, in the world of imagination, not in outer space. So you have to find that place within to live in the calm, experience the calm, and to realize whenever there is a storm, you have to brace yourself for the calm, because greater things are going to happen. Some people are going to get better houses. Some people are going to seek other opportunities elsewhere. People's lives going to get shaken up one way or the other. But what you take out of it, are you going to see the positive thing out of it? Are you going to see the constructive things? The things that you learn? Or we mustn't glory in these material things, because they could be easily taken away. They are here for us to enjoy ourselves, not to make you think that you're bigger or better than anyone else. We all have the same power, but most people don't know how to use their power. So the power of a hurricane is within you. The power of a volcanic eruption is within you. Everything is within you. Only the what they refer to as natural disasters are just symbolism of what takes place within you also. Do you realize that you are the generator, the operator, and also the destroyer? That's God. You have to learn how to use your God power. You have to learn to destroy all the negative beliefs that is keeping you back, that is keeping you down, that is holding you down. You have to be willing to get rid of those negative beliefs and build a life more on the positive, constructive things of life. Rearrange your mind. The Bible gives you the key. I'm just reiterating the key to you. Be transformed by what? The renewing of your mind. Because the Bible is a book of mind science. Not what these preachers think. So everything they think is some judgment and some condemnation. And you have some angry God somewhere. And those are all the elements that give you all of the things that we enjoy. The same elements are used to destroy those same things. So stop destroying yourself. Learn to believe yourself, love yourself, and embrace yourself, and understand the oneness of man and nature. We are all connected. Everything is connected. And we are governed by certain immutable laws that govern every one of us. Universal laws. So you can't change certain things, and you can never be able to change the law of polarity. Everything has its opposite side. But I want to shock you with this one. God and the devil is the same person. You say mountain good, you say mountain evil. You can't argue that. You'll be foolish to use your mind to disagree with a man who's saying that the Bible is mental and the Bible is psychological. You have to understand it metaphysically and esoterically. Not just exoterically, like how most people understand it, and thinking it to be literal and secular history. No, you have to understand it metaphysically. And when I speak, I'm not speaking from theory, I speak from experience. You have to experience the metaphysics in terms of you must go beyond the physical to understand the science of alchemy, how to create your life whatever way you want it to be, and understand that everything that happens on the outside is a reflection of what takes place within. So all of these natural disasters are symbol of your awakening, your renewing. So learn to start now by renewing your mind. Work on yourself. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me, what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you and you haven't subscribed already, I definitely want to encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, you like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at BlackMadGuru. And I'll also encourage you to get my latest book. It is called The Secret Vagina, Mystery of the Virgin Birth. This is where I'm teaching you how to create psychologically so you can bring forth your brain child, because you understand more of your spiritual self and you work from the spiritual world, the world of the invisible, and you make things visible in this three-dimensional world. So make sure you get that, plus spiritual recipe for better living, plus all my many other books and journals that are available to you. Also, if you have become a part of my Patreon community, I'm definitely encouraging you to do so. And on my Patreon, I have a course for people who are donating $20 or more. It is called The Inner Sound Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And along with that is a bonus course on self-concept. So my last encouragement to you is to make sure that you check out all of the links that are down below and let your intuition lead you and guide you into what to do. So that being said, my brothers and my sisters, I just want to say peace, love you all, out.